Hello, sleepless friends. This is James with Turn Back Your Clock, and we are having another installment of the Pursuit of Sleepiness series. Today we're going to do another piece of the Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia PI, which technically should be biofeedback because that would be the next one in the list of the components of CBTI. But I just don't feel like doing biofeedback today. So I'm going to focus on bright light therapy and put biofeedback on the back burner for now, but I will do it on the next one. So you just have to come back. First, I want to say welcome to all our new members in the Pursuit of Sleepiness private Facebook group for people that are having trouble with sleep issues. And welcome back to our return visitors and people watching this on replay. If you're not in the group and you're having trouble with sleep, please come join us. There's a lot of good information there, and there are plenty of people who know exactly what you're going through, me included. If you're not having trouble with sleep, I guarantee you know plenty of people who are, because at least 1 in 4 people, if not closer to 1 in 2, are having trouble sleeping on a nightly basis. And that's 85 million people in the US alone. So, share this with them. There's a link in the description. Please ask questions and comment. I know that I do reply to all of the questions and comments as soon as possible. And if you happen to see this on YouTube, then smack that subscribe like a red-haired snooze button. Okay, now for the far less tasty BLT, bright light therapy. I'm just had a craving for BLT now. Technically, it's not really CBTI, but a part of a cousin, if you will, of called chronobiologic therapy, which includes bright light therapy, body and skin warming, and physical activity. The goal and effect of these approaches are to entrain the circadian rhythm to the desired time frame, or moving the hands of your biological clock by a certain amount of minutes, so to speak. Due to the majority rules, society says, scheduling that we all live by for the most part, the preferred sleep window for an overwhelming majority of people is between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m., give or take. That's when the main core body temperature and melatonin release window occurs for almost everybody. For some, with delayed circadian rhythm or delayed sleep phase syndrome, DSPS, their core body temperature and melatonin release occur later than desired. So when they hit the hay at 11 p.m. and their circadian rhythm timing puts their core body temperature drop and melatonin release closer to 1, well, you ain't sleeping. In contrast, ASPS, or advanced sleep phase syndrome, is the early onset of sleepiness between 6 and 9 p.m., along with the early occurrence of wakefulness, which would be between maybe 3 and 5 a.m., which I'm sure plenty of you know what that's all about. That may be your story. This is more common in older people, so hence the blue plate specials, right? Studies over the last 20 years have shown that appropriately timed bright light can actually change the timing of the circadian rhythm. And there are numerous light boxes out there. I'm investigating several of them further. I may make a recommendation in a future video, but not yet. Why does light impact our circadian rhythm? Well, the obvious answer is that we evolved in a night and day universe, and the sun coming up was the cue to get our primordial butts in gear and get to hunting or gathering, depending on our ancestral cave parent expectations of which family biz our knuckle-dragging forebears would be taking over. How is a whole different ball of wax, and of course I need my smart glasses when I do this part. Basically, a tiny region of the brain, a part of our hypothalamus, called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, is photosensitive to ganglia in our retinas that signal the presence of daylight and responds by controlling the production of melatonin. This will be on the quiz. I hope you're taking notes. All right, back to normal now. There seems to be some debate among manufacturers of the various light boxes out there, whether these light therapies will actually allow your skin to produce vitamin D. By and large, probably not. Various claims are made. I encourage you to do your own due diligence, but you might want to investigate a company that makes a lamp. They're called Sperti, S-P-E-R-T-I. They are apparently the only proven lamp that actually stimulates vitamin D production. And why would this matter? Well, if you're in a location where getting sunlight is a challenge, then you're probably vitamin D deficient. And if you're vitamin D deficient, it's associated with depression, and that's where the whole seasonal affective disorder, people who get bummed out in the winter, that's all tied to the same thing. And coincidentally, depression goes hand in hand with, wait for it, you guessed it, insomnia. So stimulating your own vitamin D production and getting more vitamin D, which is pretty much impossible to do dietarily, is something that certainly bears looking into for many of you. I will say that lights for seasonal affective disorder, like the Philips Light Blue series, are great for mood elevation. But they're only pushing around 200 lux, lux being the standard unit of measure for luminosity, whereas a light box for bright light therapy is rocking around 10,000 lux. But in case you're wondering, sounds like a lot, right? On a typical sunny day, you're looking at in excess of 100,000 lux. And even in the shade on a sunny day, you're still over 20,000 lux. So the Philips light claims that the specific spectrum that they create when they're only at 200 lux is on par with 10,000 lux of a white light box. Again, I'm still in my own research phase on this, so I'm going to hold off for now. But research does support the idea that the shorter spectrum of blue light is the most effective at changing the timing of the circadian rhythm. So you might want to look into that option as well. You do not need to stare directly into the light, Carol Ann, and in fact, you should not. Simply having it angled from the side, just being exposed to it peripherally for 15 to 30 minutes, for people having trouble getting up in the morning or going to sleep at night, within an hour of waking up. So while you're watching morning TV, reading the paper, listening to the radio, checking emails, eating breakfast, that will do the trick. Research has shown that at least 1,000 lux light is effective to impact the circadian rhythm. So, but that Philips blue light might work. A typical indoor light, like a regular bulb, averages around 200 lux as well, but it's not the short blue light spectrum, shortwave. So you'll need to spring for the specialized light, and they could be a couple $100, but I think it's well worth it when you're talking about hacking your own health. In any case, for those with trouble falling asleep and waking in the morning, or DSPS, the delayed sleep phase syndrome, morning bright light can change the timing of a person's circadian rhythm to an earlier time. Taking the obvious next step, people with ASPS or advanced sleep phase syndrome, or getting sleepy and falling asleep too early and therefore waking up too early, they can benefit from bright light administered in the evening. For these early sleepers, studies recommend doing evening activities in bright light, any household things that you're doing, just very bright lights, or keep one of these specialized lights nearby for as late as possible, till midnight or so. And while avoiding bright or blue light in the morning, even recommending wearing glasses like these, blue light blocking glasses, or sunglasses, to keep you from getting that early morning stimulation of light. I have a really interesting paper from UPenn that I'll send over to anybody that messages me for it. I'll send you a link. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful and inspiring for any of you. Hopefully you took some good information out of it. Go out there and look around, find some information. If you have any questions, please ask. And again, leave your comments and questions. I will get to them. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that subscribe like a snooze button. And once again, this has been The Pursuit of Sleepiness, brought to you by Turn Back Your Clock with James Kuhn. Sweet dreams and God bless.